My face when I pull back my hood and reveal that I'm a 20-year-old girl with braces and acne. Got all her training from reading way too many cheap romance adventure novels. OMG, I am literally so excited to adventure with you guys. DM literally facepalms. Hey, Pineapple Applepen here, welcome to another DnDGreentext video. How are you guys doing? Having a wonderful day today. Before jumping into the video, I want to quickly kindly ask you if you want to take a moment to smash the like button. Takes a second, helps out, I appreciate a lot, so thanks so much for that. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Anon and the Paladin. Does your Paladin believe that bad people can change their ways if given enough guidance? Be me, Erkin. Grew up in a rough neighborhood. Had to do things that would make your average edgy rogue cringe. Learned to pickpocket when I was 4. Committed my first assault at 9. Killed my first man at 12. Was constantly in and out of jail my entire childhood. I was jaded towards the world and believed that it was all a joke. Then, one day, when I was locked up, a man came into the jailhouse. He wore the most beautiful set of plate armor. He carried an amazing longsword that seemed to be glowing. He looked like one of those traveling adventurers. But what most shocked me was the fact that he spoke to me as a person. He told me about how he once was like me, how he would lie, cheat, and even kill in order to live. He told me he was a rotten husk of a man, but he told me how his eyes were opened and how he saw the error of his ways. How he became a paladin and took the oath of redemption. He then asked if I was willing to take that path with him. I was taken aback, unsure if he was serious. I thought about it, but it didn't take me long. I decided right then and there what I was. I approached this man and got really close. I then proceeded to stab him repeatedly in the throat. As the life left his eyes, I whispered in his ear, "Thug life, motherfucker." Yeah, that was a bit unexpected. Okay. Oh, I thought that was maybe a redemption arc for the character, but nope. Just edginess overload. Okay. So much money, so little time. Grow up. All my friends get wage slave jobs with ever-changing timetables. It's now impossible to have a regular game with them. What's the solution to this? Be me. No friends. Still buy and collect board games and RPGs. Sometimes I open the boxes and set them up and imagine playing them. Oh god. That's very depressing though. That's almost miserable. That's really sad. Anon doesn't like tieflings. Be me. Browse TG often, so I know what to expect from a D&D campaign. Go to a friend's house to play D&D. Tells us that it's a light-hearted campaign that will be going on for 2 or 3 sessions. Set in some setting called Spelljammer, so we can make any character that we want. Can't wait to show off my superior knowledge of RPGs. Write up a human fighter named Gilles de Guillaume, an errant knight. The DM, who's my friend, invites his little brother over. Play some purple tiefling warlock with glowing red eyes called Blood Moon, the last of his kind, fleeing from his planet, which has been overtaken by an evil theocracy. The campaign is a total cringe fest and can barely remember any of it because my friend doesn't give a shit about story and just lets them do what they want and f around with whatever they find. Penguin merchants? British hippo marines? What the f? Didn't know he was a fur but okay. Blood Moon is an annoying piece of brooding about his past. Despite this, everyone else in the campaign is having a good time playing along, not taking him seriously, and not even themselves. This and the severe disregard towards historical accuracy breaks the hell out of my immersion. DM for throwing verisimilitude out the window. Why the f is there a tap in the bathroom of a wooden sailing ship that we're being held prisoner in? Of course I asked the hippo navy captain about it, and he tells me there's a water elemental held captive in the cistern. Fucking hell. I tell the DM exactly what I think about cheapening magic like this. Magic should be mysterious, otherwise you end up with boring shit like Eberron where it's just technology. He brushes me off and tells me that he'll think about it next session. Good, hope he listened. After escaping the hold, Blood Moon, of course, hears about it and decides to liberate the thing with the Kender rogue so he can make it his minion. Makes a lot of cringe lines about how he doesn't give a shit about authority because of his past as a persecuted tiefling. I tell him bluntly that what one does is more important than what one is. He tells me that that's exactly why he's trying to liberate the elemental. Can't stand that kid thinking he's all unique and cool with his freak tiefling, but I can't interrupt him and the Kender plotting together. Their giggly excitement at something so stupid and childish pisses me off. God, I can't f***ing stand him. The other player, a nature domain dwarf cleric, joins in and suggests that he use his plant growth spell to grow the potted plants in the quarter to bloom and flood the entire place. The Kender decides to only enact the plan when they're near a planet with a lot of water because he doesn't want the hippos to die of dehydration. At this point, I realize they're eating up Looney Tunes bullshit for mental thoughts. And worse, they're enjoying it and not even calling that kid a freak FML. I need to show them up somehow. I go find that hippo captain and tell them the rest of my party plans to liberate their only source of water. The DM has the good sense to defend me because he encourages inter-party conflict because it's fun. Hippo beats my character up while I'm carrying a broomstick and has me escorted back to the hold, even when I made sure to describe the HEMA techniques in detail. Jill gets thrown overboard for escaping while the rest of my party fights them off. DM pulls some bullshit anti-vaxxer flat earth nonsense and has the gravity plane stick me right back on the bottom of the ship. While they're fighting, I smash open the window and fight the hippos because f***lings. Blood Moon frees the water elemental and then rides out into space on its back, all seated in a canoe. Out of character, the Kender player thanks me. DM explicitly mentions that I'm stuck to the water elemental and offers to let me roll to swim up to the canoe. They're all having a blast, without me. I stand up and let them know exactly what I think about their characters, their taste, and their immaturity, and especially how much I hate Mudcon and his little of a player. Everybody's silent. Good. I just love how freak just stand there bewildered when you point out their DM throws a colossal tantrum right there and himself. His stupid little brother cries like a at how I dared hurt his precious fifis. DM takes me to another room and tells me to never pull that ever again. Thinks I'm having a meltdown and I'm not a decent human being, quote unquote. Tell him that people laughing at him and his little brother isn't a meltdown, and that talking about being a decent human being while playing literal hellspawn kinda invalidates his argument. Dwarf player tells me to leave because I'm apparently a freak. I point out the irony of him calling me a freak when he obviously wanted to play a freak. Replies with the bullshit excuse that he played a dwarf. Everybody knows who thinks freak isn't an existential threat to Western civilization is definitely a freak who plays shoving furballs. Laugh at him. Tell him that that's his problem and not the problem of sane, well-adjusted people who don't need to pretend to be some frictional person, hipster, to feel better about their pathetic lives. And then the DM tells me to leave before I can make any witty comebacks about them being trannies and freakers. Almost managed to say something about Critical Role before the door slams shut in my face. Flip his little brother off through the window after I storm out of his house. Freak and all freakers. Jesus Christ, this is probably one of the worst stories that I've got to read in the subreddit ever. Do you think Possessed Doll goes with my outfit? Be me. 2nd level druid in Pathfinder 2nd edition. Be not me. Cleric, Ranger, Bard and Barbarian. Be exploring an old lawful evil paladin citadel. We're looking for a MacGuffin and we've searched every room in the place except this one. The door slowly creaks open as the Barbarian kicks it in violently. 2 bullywogs lie dead in a pool of sunlight next to a small child's toy. Sushi.jpg. With an uncharacteristic degree of foresight, we realize that this is a trap. As we discuss, the cleric notices the cute little doll with its hand-painted paladin armor, occasionally checking to see if we're coming in and then appearing to get irritated that we're taking so long. It eventually just stands up and fires off a necrotic fire spell. Oh yeah, lawful evil paladins. We beat the stuffing out of it. The soul of a proud paladin wafts into the sky. It glanced back down at its former body to see the cleric turning it into a backpack. She thinks it will go with her rainbow outfit, and the MacGuffin in its chest needs transporting. My backstory isn't going to be interesting enough. Be me, newish player looking for group. Find group looking to play shortish campaign. Send DM my character idea. Grandmotherly old tiefling who uses a brick in her handbag as a weapon and hands out hard candy. Secretly a warlock from finding a cursed book at book club. DM says the character doesn't sound particularly interesting and her backstory won't lend to drama easily. Besides, the party could really use a melee as it is already heavy on casters. He has a point on that last one. Roll a swashbuckler rogue, outwardly edgelord. First session, you meet in a tavern. Rogue edgelord hangs out in heavy hood in corner. Walk over to party table, being as edgy as I can describing the character. DM looks happy. I sit down and slam my cup down on the table. There's milk in it. You become aware of a horrible noise coming from under the hood. It's bubblegum. My face when I pull back my hood and reveal that I'm a 20-year-old girl with braces and acne. Got all her training from reading way too many cheap romance adventure novels. OMG, I am literally so excited to adventure with you guys. DM literally facepalms. Anon's DM gets lanced. Cast Roll of Hymns Physic Lance. DM starts seething at me. Just make high-end monsters, bro. Never heard about that spell. Look it up. 7d6 psychic damage and being incapacitated for a turn on an int save. 4th level spell. Holy fuck. Lanced. Anon pisses off a black dragon. Party, tasked with retrieving the possessions of a dwarf, was burglarized by Bullywugs. Bard disguises the rogue and fighter to investigate the Bullywugs camp for clues. Fighter and rogue find nothing at the camp, but spot a decrepit castle with no roof covered in foliage just north of it. They investigate a bit, and the rogue is super sneaky, but the fighter is not. Fighter gets ambushed and interrogated by the black dragon residing in the castle. Turns out, the Bullywugs work for it. Fighter nearly dies at the dragon's breath weapon after not giving it any answers. The rogue finds the dwarf stuff and uses an ivory goat figure to rescue the fighter and get the out. The rogue gives the riding goat a potion of speed to get the out even faster, outspeeding the dragon even as it flies. All of this just to piss off a dragon that knows the direction they were heading and just learned about a small town that it lives near. They did not think it through, did they? That took a turn. Start superhero game in this generic system just to try it out. Forthright. First mission is against a guy who wants to blow up the city and goes well enough. Ask the players what they want to do in downtime. Cryo Wizard wants to research cryotechnology. Speedster wants to travel the world. Telepath wants to stream as a VTuber totally disconnected from real persona or superhero persona. Guy whose only power is being good with guns wants to return to his old middle school and shoot it up. It's what my character would do now that he has gun powers. You said we could be anti-heroes? Okay, Jesus Christ, that's absolutely... Somehow this was worse than the one earlier that I thought was probably the worst one yet. How can it be so terrible? How can you even come up with this? Jesus Christ. Alright, I guess on that note, that's gonna be it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe for more if you haven't already. Also, thank you to everyone supporting the channel on Patreon, as well as on YouTube, where people lots of thanks so much for those. Links below if you check them out, as well as links to the social media, subreddit, Discord, and anything else. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.